19-year-old who lived with her mother, Jessie Wood, in Mobile, Alabama. She had a 2-year-old daughter. On the May the 30th, 2012, the young girl left home at around 7 p.m. and was initially thought to be meeting a friend. Family members didn't think much of it when they didn't hear from her because it wasn't unusual for her to be gone for several days at a time. She was last seen wearing a blue t-shirt, blue denim shorts, and flip-flops. She was carrying a pink or teal tote bag containing extra clothing, a red curling iron, a makeup bag, and a cellular phone. She had told some friends that she was going to go visit her uncle Donnie Holland at a place out by the Styx River Basin, about 40 miles away from her home in Tillman's Corner. A cell tower ping put her last location whereabouts in that general area. Later, it came to light that Brittney was actually with her uncle Donald, who picked her up close to the house and took her to a house in Baldwin County, Alabama, where he was living. 2 days later, on June the 1st, Donnie drove out to a secluded area overlooking the Fish River and, according to officials, shot himself in the head. He was found in his SUV by his wife Wendy and a female friend, who incidentally would also later be accused of sexual abuse and the production of child pornography. Brittney's cell phone battery was found in his car, perhaps moved in mistaken belief that it wouldn't be able to be tracked from the police. The phone itself has never been recovered, and it was when no one could reach Brittney to tell her about her uncle shooting himself that they realized something wasn't right. She was reported missing on June the 2nd by her parents. Upwards of 70 volunteers and search and rescue units from neighboring counties joined local authorities in combining the 5-mile radius where Brittney's phone placed her. Volunteers searched the 5-mile radius surrounding Donnie's house, but found no trace of the troubled woman. The Salvation Army of Coastal Alabama showed up to provide food and water for the search teams. A prayer service and a candlelight vigil were held May the 30th, 2013, the 1-year anniversary of Brittney's disappearance at her mom and stepdad's home. The gun used by Donald was later confirmed to be Brittney's. While the search for Brittney went on, horrific details of a sex ring where juveniles were abused multiple times came to light. Donald, who was already under investigation for this, was considered to be the ringleader, and many charges would be filed against them, as well as many members of the Wood family. The ones that were convicted included Brittney's aunts and uncles, and Brittney was also believed to be a victim of the abuse. When it came to Brittney, the leads were scant in the investigation of her whereabouts. The authorities looked into Brittney's cell phone records and conducted extensive searches with no success. The authorities considered the abuse investigation and Brittney as connected more than a year after her disappearance. In the end, Brittney has still not been found, and what happened to her still remains a mystery. Chessie believes that Donnie's wife Wendy, who is also her sister, knows where Brittney is. It was much longer before authorities realized that they had much more on their hands than a missing girl. Her disappearance opened up Pandora's box of family secrets. They uncovered a depraved and incestuous sex ring that shook the community to its core, ultimately leading to 11 convictions and the discovery of the largest child sex ring Alabama has ever seen. Investigations revealed that Donnie, his wife Wendy, and the numerous other relatives that had been taking part in group sex parties for years, sharing each other's children under the guise of family barbecues. Groomed from an early age, as many as 16 children were abused by the gang, forced to watch the others until they were deemed old enough to take part. Despite several formal complaints of abuse going back at least 6 years, it seems that none of these allegations were seriously pursued. Many of Brittney's closest relatives were convicted in relation to various sex crimes that spanned generations. Wendy Holland, Mindy Kent, Dustin Kent, Randall Wood, Derek Wood, Donnie Holland Jr., and Chessie Wood, as well as William Bonnie Brownlee, James Comba, and Nelson Butch Morgan that were also charged. Despite the large number of arrests, none of the accused gave any indication as to the whereabouts of Brittney Wood. Brittney, a single mother to a 2-year-old girl, had far from an easy start in life. She was molested as a child by her step-grandfather, who was later sentenced to life in prison. As she reached her teens, Brittney became involved in drugs and was bouncing from home to home at the time of her disappearance. Her uncle had committed suicide, and supposedly he was the last one she was with, and so we're worried about that, Brittney's dad, Wallace Hankey, has told to CBS affiliate. I'm hoping to God, and I really don't think that he would hurt my baby. Brittney's stepmother, Stephanie Hankey, believes that Wendy Holland holds the key to Brittney's disappearance, but years on, she hasn't given anything away. The perpetrators may be locked behind bars, but for Brittney Wood, justice just isn't done yet. Brittney's 2-year-old daughter, Peyton, has been staying with her father and other relatives since her mom disappeared. She asks for her every time she gets in the car with us, Stephanie, Brittney's stepmom, said. We just keep telling her that she's bye-bye right now, and we don't know what else to tell her. In an interview, Chessie said of Brittney, we as a family do not see how she had the means to run. We've covered every friend, every one of them are accounted for. I mean, if she had to run because she's that scared, I would really think that she would have taken her daughter with her, Chessie said. Nobody knew what to do. I mean, what do you tell a 2-year-old? We thought this was going to be short-lived. We're just going to find Brittney, wherever, and bring her home. And now the granddaughter is saying, my mom has been at the store a very long time. I think she's buying everything. Can you just tell her to come home? Months went by and searches continued, dispatching volunteers to aid workers investigated efforts. But the search found no signs of Brittney at all. As Christmas approached, flyers were posted again as hunters to keep their eyes peeled for any traces of her in the woods. The Mobile County Sheriff's Office reported that a dig at the site of Grand Bay had been fruitless. We're satisfied that there's nothing back up there, Captain Paul Birch says. Brittney was 17 when she gave birth to her daughter Peyton. In 2018, the local NBC News affiliate spoke to Wood's then 8-year-old daughter, Peyton, and it would have been her mother's 26th birthday, and asked what she would have given her. She said, I would give her a balloon and a hug. I just wish I could, the little girl told them. I miss her. Brittney or her remains have not been found even after many years. The Baldwin County Sheriff said there is no evidence that would suggest she is still alive, but there's also no evidence to suggest that she is deceased. We have her entered into the computer as a missing person, and she has not come across anybody else's radar anywhere in the U.S. The case is still remained open. Brittney Nicole Wood, a white female, was born on September the 25th, 1992, and she is 5 feet 3 inches tall and weighed approximately 105 pounds, with dirty blonde hair, blue eyes, and a lip piercing. She has a tattoo of the name Peyton, surrounded by butterflies, on her left leg. She smokes Newport menthol cigarettes. If you have any information as to the whereabouts of Brittney Wood or any other information on this case, please contact your local Crime Stoppers.